What is good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video bringing you the best Nintendo Switch and RPG news. Today we've got a bunch of great topics for you guys. But before we get into that, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos first. And I do want to ask you guys, what is your favorite Metroid game of all time? Let me know in the comment section below. I will be looking through, of course. Now let's go ahead and jump right into it here, because apparently we have some big news that is coming on Metroid Prime soon based on a reliable leaker out there. We're going to talk about that and also the potential of a Nintendo Direct with this, and also Nintendo's, I would say, possibility of doing it based on their past history. So we're going to talk about this first. This was an article on Gamerant, but it's up pretty much everywhere on the internet, and it comes from Reddit as well. So a Metroid Prime related announcement could be coming soon, according to a mysterious yet eyebrows raising reliable leaker. Claimed leaks related to Metroid Prime have been happening for quite some time. We know about this. Things swirled with Jeff Grubb and the whole Metroid Prime 4 and Metroid Prime trilogy and all that stuff, and he actually ended up shaving his head because we did not get Metroid in 2022. So shout outs to Jeff Grubb, and of course rest in pieces to all his hair that he shaved off. But there is a new rumor here, and that is from someone named fun_way_6592. And he's not well known. People have not known about this guy, but apparently he's been on the money, Johnny on the spot when it comes to leaks and everything. Now, one example of his uncanny ability, or more like inside information when it comes to leaks, is the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit involving a moderator, and the message was, quote, "Zelda fans will be crying tears of joy tomorrow." Now that was ahead of the reveal of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's full title. Now, by all appearances, the leaker has legitimate access to Nintendo insider information here, because nobody was expecting there to be Tears of the Kingdom, or there was nothing about tears or crying or anything beforehand when it comes to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. There was no names. People didn't even expect that at all, and there was nothing that came about that said tears or hinted that. So he absolutely knew something beforehand. Now, fun_way_6592 is back at it again here. Now, this message to another moderator in the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit stated that, quote, "Do you think everyone is primed and ready?" Now, that's the entire tease. That's it. There's no capitalized letters. There's no anything that's kind of emphasizing one thing or another. It just says primed and ready. Now, obviously, primed and ready, Metroid Prime. Are you ready for something? Are you ready for Metroid Prime? I mean, that seems to me very similar to what he did with The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So it looks like this is going to be happening. Now, people reached out to him for more information. He has not given anything else. And his routine of what he's done before in the past is usually leak something like the Tears of the Kingdom very shortly before there is some type of event. Now, obviously, we have New Year's. I highly doubt Nintendo's going to be announcing anything sometime soon. However, I do feel that there could be something to do with this in the upcoming year. So maybe he's changing things up just a little bit, because obviously, if you leak stuff on The Legend of Zelda, Nintendo can definitely track you down. So maybe he's trying to mix some things up so he doesn't get the Nintendo ninjas after him. But either way, I do believe that we are going to be getting some Metroid Prime goodness soon. Now, what could it be? Well, obviously, Metroid Prime trilogy. There's been rumors about that. And then more recently, there's been rumors about a Metroid Prime remaster, like a really in-depth remaster. That's not just a 1080p upscaling or whatever the case is, but an actual like redone assets and stuff like that of the original Metroid Prime. Not quite a remake, but a very well done remaster. Almost like, let's say, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD, where not only did it just run in 1080p, but they also doubled the frame rate. They also redid some of the assets, made it look better, cleaned it up, quality of life things, all sorts of stuff. So it went way beyond just the simple bringing the game to the system. So I do think that is still possible with the original Metroid Prime when it comes down to it. Now, let's talk about this next thing. When is this actually going to be happening? And is Metroid Prime 4 going to be there? Yes, I do think that we're going to be getting a double pack of news. We could see some Metroid Prime 4 action. I mean, there needs to be something on this game, whether that's a teaser trailer, a CG trailer, something needs to come out on Metroid Prime 4, letting us know what's going on with this. So I do expect that to be at at a Nintendo Direct in 2023. And then, of course, I do expect to see a release date and also Metroid Prime Remaster. Like, I'm expecting that. Now, it's not 100% confirmed or anything, and it's not even based on what this person has said, but I just felt that beforehand. I thought that it was going to be last year, but it ended up not being right, so unfortunate on there. But I always said, like, hey, you never know. We got to wait and see when it comes down to it. Now, when could we see this announcement? So shout out to my man Paul Gale Network over there on Twitter. He actually talked about the different Nintendo Directs, which you guys will see right here in a post. And he went from the bottom to the top when it comes to Nintendo Directs. And as you can see, pretty much every single time here, there are a lot of February Nintendo Directs. It looks like a 58% chance based off of all the ones for the past 10 years or so, going from 2012 all the way to 2022, and more than half of the time there is a February Nintendo Direct. I'm counting it here myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times or so. Yeah, 6 times there has been a February Nintendo Direct. So it's very possible that Nintendo will talk about this Metroid Prime stuff and everything in February of 2023. But once again, they could mix it up here. There is a January Direct or so here. Could be that. Sometimes they've even stretched it out to March as well. But for the most part, it seems like February is the target area or right around then. But we're going to have to wait and see exactly what happens here. But either way, Metroid Prime, I think that finally we're going to get something out of them. But what are your thoughts on this when it comes to Metroid Prime and when it comes to what we could see here? Do you guys feel that this is accurate, that we're going to get something or not? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. We are going to discuss the best-selling Nintendo Switch eShop games in Japan, and a very surprising game that actually made the top 10 list because it's not known for its digital sales uptake, and that is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So very excited to see that, and you guys know I'll take any opportunity to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles whenever I can. So here is the top 10. We're going to go from top to bottom, and that is Splatoon 3, number 1, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon Violet, Pokemon Scarlet, Monster Hunter Rise, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo Switch Sports, Mario Kart 8, Overcooked 2. So once again, a heavy dose of big Nintendo first-party games, an indie game or so, and a big Nintendo Switch third-party game with Monster Hunter Rise. That game's still selling incredibly well, and the digital sales, Nintendo doesn't let us know about those, so there's no way to actually see how much is digital compared to physical. They just give us overall sales with certain games in their financial reports. So we know that most of these games obviously has done really well. I think that Pokemon Legends Arceus did incredibly good digitally for the rest of 2022. It's good to see that at number 2, fantastic game. But even seeing Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet at number 3 and 4 respectively, yet those games launched at the end of the year and they jumped up past so many of these other games, just shows you the behemoth that that game is. But Splatoon 3 being number 1, that is incredible as well. I think a lot of people opt for that game to be a digital game, so they don't have to worry about taking it in and out. Just put it right there, play your multiplayer and get out. And Splatoon was obviously a mega hit. Splatoon 3 was a super mega hit in Japan, just selling crazy numbers right off the bat. So that's awesome to see as well. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, right? Like, to see Xenoblade Chronicles 3 in this list of games, all of these games on this list are multiple big, multi-million sellers worldwide. You see these games, you're like, okay, yeah, that sold 5 million units plus when it comes down to it. So it's a good list to be in, and it shows that Xenoblade Chronicles is slowly but surely making its way up the ladder, up the food chain. We heard about the 1.72 million units that it sold in like the first month or so when it comes down to it, which is incredibly good compared to what Xenoblade Chronicles 2 did, because it took the game, I think, about a year or so, year plus, to even get up to that, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 already did it very quickly. So I would expect Xenoblade Chronicles 3 to easily surpass 3 million units plus when it's all said and done, and that's on the conservative side when it comes down to it. And seeing it in the top 10 when it comes to the best-selling eShop games in Japan is a very good sign, and I think that it bodes well for the future of Monolith Soft, what they get greenlit, how much money they get for projects. We discussed this before. Like, when we talk about sales, it's not just about bragging rights and, oh, this game sold more, or console war stuff. It has nothing to do with that. I don't care. I have all the systems, so it doesn't matter to me when it comes down to it. What matters to me is that the games that are really good, that I feel that are awesome, get their just due and able to get funding to make more of them. The fact that Xenoblade is selling like it's selling means that we're probably going to get more Xenoblade, and if not more Xenoblade, more Monolith Soft. they need money. They need hits in order to keep their studio going. Now, Nintendo owns them. They're owned completely, but if the games do really well from that studio, they can expand. They can hire more people. They get more money for their games. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 wouldn't have had the funding that it had if Xenoblade Chronicles 2 didn't do so well on the market, not just starting out, but also consistently. And then with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torn of the Golden Country, with hundreds of thousands of people opting to buy the physical version of the game or the digital version and give them an extra $30 for that expansion pass. All of that plays a part into making Monolith Soft a lot better and also getting confidence for them to be able to spend more money on their projects, which was the result in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is a spectacle of an RPG when it comes to the story, the cutscenes, and everything combined. That game surpassed my wildest expectations. So this is what I want to see from Xenoblade, from games like Fire Emblem, these games that obviously aren't as big as Mario and Zelda and Pokemon, but also can scratch together their own solid fan base and continue to grow. And I think that's one of the most important things. The sales aren't getting worse when it comes to Xenoblade and Fire Emblem and all that. They're getting better. And this is a very good sign that things are looking up for Monolith Soft and also for the Xenoblade Chronicles franchise and whatever else Monolith Soft wants to do in the future, because their games can sell over the time. People are vested in them. They do buy the DLCs and stuff like that. So very good to see this overall. So what are your thoughts on this when it comes to the best-selling Nintendo Switch eShop games in 2022 in Japan? What were your favorites from the list here? What do you think about Splatoon taking the top spot, and Pokemon and Kirby? I think that's another game that's underrated overall when it comes to the mass media, but that game is absolutely fantastic. I need to go back and 100% that game. So Kirby, all these different titles, I think it's pretty cool to see games just do well and more of these titles to come out in the future because of that. And also, what do you guys think about Metroid Prime and what's going on there? I know it's kind of crazy to see everything with Metroid Prime, finally something after getting a nothing in 2022. I think that maybe something should be happening with Metroid Prime. The success of Metroid Dread definitely is playing a factor, in my opinion, of course, for Nintendo to go forward with projects. So we'll see what happens there with Metroid Prime and just Metroid in general in 2023. So what are your thoughts on all this, guys? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.